dear God, I'm hot. I will turn off my fan. Hello, anybody who's turned up. Probably nobody yet. We are playing some City Skylines today, and I am very, very warm. I will go ahead and I'll bring you into the lovely menu. We are starting a new game on a map that I may have downloaded down here. A couple of different ones to choose from. Let's go with Copper Creek by Scotland Tom. And theme is nothing out here. City name, Paul. I mean, you gotta call your pets human names, so why not call a city a human name too? So Paul will be our city. Don't know what style it is, we'll just get cracking in. City Skylines had an update recently which sort of went the right way as far as I'm concerned. They pretty much decided what they want this to be. It's going for the more sort of city beautification kind of game, and I approve of that. Sorry, I'm pouring some water, which you can probably hear gurgling in the background. Don't go to the toilet just yet, because, you know, we might do a toilet break at some point. So it's got an update in here. You can now do props. You can prop down props. It's all very lovely and interesting and exciting. And I thought we'd take a look on a stream. I sort of noticed that when I started playing just on Friday or Thursday, I don't remember. So I've gotten back into it and I sort of know what's going on. But not really at all. In terms of the DLCs, I'm using the Dark Knight version and what's the other one? The Cold one. I've forgotten the names. I should look these things up. I don't have the most recent one, so we'll turn you off out here. This is the plot of land we are starting out in. No mods at all. Completely basic and simple. So we will be plopping it down here. We need to think about this. I've made a mistake here many a times before. Most recently with the other save file that I have going on, in that I have sort of must remember now to not build over what we have. So build you down here just a long straight road, multiples by 2. I will then keep in mind not to zone anywhere near them, just in case we need to expand, which we will do. Oh, and there's a hill here, so it's all a bit exciting. So most importantly, we are going to start off with a bit of residential zoning. Apparently your slope is too deep. You're not too steep, so you can go in here and extend you upsies here. It will be a griddy-based system, at least for now, because it's pretty simple in terms of playing this. I don't really do this very well, so you'll have to forgive me if I'm all a bit simple on this. Extend you down to about here. We need some industry when we can specialise in forestry, which we will certainly be able to do at some point. So let's just extend the road down to about there. That's a beautiful stretch of road. Extend you up a bit more. Extend you down to here. I've actually gotten it right. I want to make these times 3. So we zone it on. You know, one at a time, please. Hang on, I think I've cocked that one up, but that's okay too. We all make mistakes. It's nothing to cry about. Mistakes happen. None of them are bad, unless it's killed somebody, in which case they are bad. But in cases like this, we are merely just exploring what's going on. So mistakes are okay. We have river in the area. So I will quickly plop down at the very close end, destroying some of those trees, a water pump, and then, just to completely ruin everything, we will plop down a drain pipe where our sewage is deposited. It's not very nice of me, but it's what I can do when we start down. Also, pause the game speed real quick here. Go in, extend it down with some water piping. We do need water. It is very important, especially when it's as hot as it is today. Or as it's been like forever this year, which is ridiculous, but hey, whatever. We will also be having a wind turbine, so slot it down on the top of the hill, extend it down using power lines. They don't generate any kind of pollution, noise or otherwise, which is a bit weird if you ask me, but what do I know? I'm not a game designer. Also, that pump is all the way down here, so slot you in here. You should power that nicely. At the other end, we have a depositor. Hello, is the game sound very loud? Well, we'll go ahead and I'll just quickly bring it back in there. How about now? Is it too low? I hope you can hear me now. Hello, Midnight Max. Everything hopefully okay for you? Temperature warning right now, 27.9 inside. I'm roasting in an oven, and that's supposedly okay too. I'm also minimised the game by accident. I hope the audio is good now. My bars look okay. Sound also looks great. So we will go ahead and we will extend up a power line right into a bold move, I will add, but it worked so beautiful. We'll speed up time just a tiny bit. So we see our beautiful houses being built. Not ours though, our citizens. Everybody will be living here in a lovely terraced section. Oh, it's beautiful. We will start off before we get too far in by... Oh, we can't yet, so we won't do any of that. You're dying too? Yeah, isn't it nice? We're just completely dying. It's hopeless, but, you know, we can't cry too much because, you know, what's the point? It's just going to stay this hot. Apparently, I forgot to connect up my poo chute. So extend you up into our water supply, and we will have that being supplied pretty shortly. I need to quickly do something. Oh, I've got music now. That was very dramatic. So everybody's poo's now left their buildings, and that really is the best way for the poo to be. I find very annoying when the poo stays in the house after I've done pooing. So we're keeping our citizens happy by not having the houses filled with excrement. Other than that, there is not a lot that we can do in terms of zoning. We have a couple of different needs that we need to fulfill. So in order to do that, we will do that here. Apparently that was not too steep. That's a bit weird. I mean, I feel like this is a bit steep anyway. Every single vehicle that goes over that will bottom out every time they go over. I feel like we should have grounded it down or something, but what do I know? I'm not the road planning department. I'm just a person building the city. The mayor doesn't have to know everything, do they? Extend the road down here a bit. We will have some sort of commercial sector before we get down to our nitty-gritty, dirty industrial sector. Down with a road and grab you down. Okay, that's a bit too far, isn't it? I was going by the dot. I shouldn't. And what's wrong with grit, I say? They are great. Beautiful, simple designs. One of the few things the Americans got right. Am I right, Europeans? Let's get in on that American bashing action, which is a lot easier nowadays. Extend the roads down. Just pop one into the middle. Okay, that's going to delete that. This is going to be problematic in the short term. So let's go ahead and try and sort this out. You are sort of sorted there because there was a road in the way. Understandably, I would suggest we will also quickly link this up into that like a beautiful girl. Girl? Why did I say girl? I meant something else. Like a beautiful... I don't know what else is beautiful. Like a car, because cars can be beautiful. I feel like I've done a boo-boo here, so let's just get rid of that part of Kong something street. Didn't really bother looking at that up. That's better. We now have a functional grid system, although we don't need any more houses. So extend it down, and we will need to go in over here with a few more roads. You can vary up the grids, which we will be doing at some point. But for now, we will just be doing a simple, basic one to get everything going. Also, it feels like I'm infiltrating something with this music. It is slightly disturbing, to say the least. So, a lovely grid-based layout. I appear to have deleted another power line. And I appear to conveniently have also run out of money. I should have planned better, shouldn't I? This is why you don't let me near city planning. I tend to spend all the money on roads and then forget that you need to do absolutely everything else because it's a city. So just remember that we need to protect part of this. Just grab you here and just let that go in a moment. We can also extend you down here with... Oh no, you need to be full big because otherwise it's not going to look nice. So extend you down. We will also be bringing in some industry. Industry is good. It gives us a financial powerhouse. Look at Germany. Always look at Germany. They usually do things right. Apart from that time in the 30s and 40s, which we won't talk about again. They got that a bit wrong, eh? Oh, that's quite convenient. That's gone right in the middle out here, but I appear to be getting perilously close to not having money. Which, if you're in a city, is bad. Ask Detroit. So I will just speed up time, let people move in. let people build their businesses, let them pay tax. I can go in here and I can lower down our current businesses here. All of our expenses. We don't have a night cycle, so I don't need to move the night one. Just quickly down a bit. Road wides, we could name them, but I don't really see the point. At least not yet. But we have Lee Street, Daffodil Street, Ashton, Blackwell Street, Home Street, Richardson Street, Belmont Street, and Spring Street. And up here we've got Concord and Spring Street where you can live. If you're lucky enough, you will be looking down over the roads that will soon be motorway onto the industrial sector. Not the most sort of best view to have, is it? But we will make it do. See, we're still spending a bit more money than we technically have. And we need to supply water. And I think we may do a loan. I can't do a loan because I'm not big enough. Well, that's a whoopsie and a half. Well, we will just let time speed along. Hopefully more people will be moving in as soon as they've realised what a good place Poole is to live. That's going to confuse me. I never think these things through. So, Poole, the city, is doing fine. Slight financial problem, but we're in the green. We're making 80 cremoleons, or whatever you call it, simoleons. No, that's too close to what it originally was, so let's not call it that. Also, we are technically not producing enough power at all. Massively underpowered, so fund the wind turbine. Just turn around a bit quicker. Blow. Get a massive fan positioned over here to turn it around, although that would use electricity. That's a stupid plan. Also why I'm not in charge of renewable energies. I mean, it would work, just a massive fan at one end of a wind farm. You know, it's not the most intelligent decision, but it could work. So we're getting closer now. We're making over 200 and approaching 300. We're getting closer. We're over 300 money a week. Didn't know it was week, but it is week. So we will soon be able to power all of our electricity requirements. We are still nowhere near that. We are consuming more than we are currently producing. So we will increase our energy funding massively to hopefully break even. Oh yes, we are consuming 7 and everything is getting supplied in. We are now making money. We now have money again to spend. As a city planner, that is nice. We can extend out here with just a wee bit. See, 200, how far down to 220? No, 220 please. We need to give water to the buildings. Otherwise they're not going to be very happy with us. Can we get a bit more dosh please? We are well into the green. So money is not going to be a problem for long. But until then, it is unfortunately a problem if you are living in Poole. I know there is a St. Paul. I've just remembered in one of the M states in America. But this is not that Paul. This isn't the saint. It's just Paul. Because Paul's a good guy. Paul's a good guy. And we've given him a city. Which he's nowhere near and won't ever want to live in. And we are now running out of... You are running out of water in your house. So before, we had no way of getting rid of the poo. And now we have no way of getting rid of the poo either. But it's a slightly different way of not being able to get rid of the poo. So I feel okay and perfectly vindicated. So hopefully soon we will be... There we go. We have now unlocked many nice things, such as an elementary school, a medical clinic, and a landfill. How can you not enjoy the landfill? Well, there are many ways you can't enjoy them, but they're important until we get some sort of other way of getting rid of the rubbish, which will surely come at some point. So plop that down. Spend a bit of money. Just to do that, we can also give everybody a little bit of a schoolie just over here, although that was very, very expensive. 300 students seems a bit excessive given that there are 450 people living in the town. Similarly with the dumper trucks, we will turn those down a bit. Similar thing with the education budget. Don't need all of that to currently fund everything. So we can go in now, over across this place. No, we can't. I still need to unlock it. See, I want to go in with the lovely propping, but I can't because it's not in yet. We haven't unlocked it. That's the nice feature of this whole thing. So until then, we will just quickly have a... You are producing quite a lot, but also I have many things now, and that is not really brilliant. So let's go in and fund you a bit more wind turbine. You're a god. So please give us all of the wind power. Or we are literally teetering on functionality here. Extend the road. No, road. Water pipes down just a tiny bit. So we actually supply all of this. You, meanwhile, are producing 10 megawatts. And we are consuming 12. So those maths don't add up. Not even in my mind. So another wind turbine, please. Thank you. We like wind turbines. We are green. Very, very green. Who's made this? Is it Windstar? Obviously a fake place. Could be Vestas though. Let's go with that because it's Danish and I want to promote Danish things because it is good into that. So increase funding a bit for the schools, given that we have a lot more students than we have slots in the school, and we are not America. We don't discriminate against people based on education. Let's not get into that. That's a rabbit hole that I don't want to go down. Medical clinic, we haven't technically plopped down yet. We don't have the money, and that's okay too. We can just pretend that we are America, where that's not a right. So down here, we can zone some more. I mean, I feel like you calling out that we need more commercial down here isn't necessarily correct in that we have lots of zonage available. They have not taken any of it. So don't come crying to me when you don't have anything. Are you getting there now, though? Oh, bugger me. Yeah, we've got that road sorted out as well. It's going to be some lovely terraces that we are building. We just need to be mindful of, well, technically everything, as a lot of people now want to live in Paul. Understandably so. Paul's a lovely place. We've funded it. I own all the rights to visit paul.com, so don't go claiming that jazz. So until we can get further on, we will just quickly zone a few more houses. Also, not zone that bit there. Just try and keep it 3 by whatever it is that you decide you want to be. Because I'm not a mean person, I let you choose your own house sizes. I'm nice, I just don't want you to be too big. It is indeed getting some lovely terracey businesses over here with some lovely little cliffy thing. So this is romantic. Imagine being a family overlooking all of that chimney and industrial sector and businesses. You are just going to be happy that you moved to Paul, because Paul will make you happy. We will need to build some more residential area as people really love Paul. So up here we go. I just need to remember that I've put music on, which I normally don't do. So I am slightly confused. Either I usually supply my own music, or I put on a podcast or something similar. Yeah, podcast, that's right. You need to technically be here, right? Yeah, there we go. So plonky you down. Apparently we are now out of money again. It's difficult being a mayor, trust me. So we need to extend you right on down. We will keep a little bit of a spacing here. It just looks a bit nicer if we do so. I need to remember not to zone along this road. It will be upgraded to a motorway. I will save myself many a brain ache if I don't do that. Is brain ache a thing? I know a heartache is a thing, but that's not what I'm going to have here. I'm not that invested in Paul. I just think he's a good guy and he should have a... So a slight problem with my school is that the road doesn't connect up. So first hurdle that we will overcome when we have money is what to do there. In terms of our next objective is, well, we've already hit. Then we need to go to 900 people. We're currently on 731 in Paul. I need a drink now. Yeah, temperature's going up. That's nice. So we will continue with Paul in a moment once I've had a drink. The wind turbines are going massively at 9 megawatts, producing a total of 18. I know my 9 times table at least up until 2, which really is the basics of being a human being. Unless you're like dyslexic with numbers, in which case you're legally excused. Oh, and there we go. We've unlocked districts, we've unlocked policies, a second loan district specialization, service and policies. the fire brigade, the police force, and unique buildings, forestry, agricultural, power usage, water usage. We've unlocked everything. So quickly slow down time. As we will also, before we move on, oh, we are sitting on everything. I technically have a fertile ground down here, which I should probably make use of. In here we have a lot of oil. That's great. And we have a bit of forest over here and a bit of fertile land. So if we will ever need industrial, which we might do soon, we will go in here, grab this, or we can go and do some farming down here, both of which help us sustain our current positioning. And that is good. The more raw materials you there's a motorbike being crashed on the news. I've got no idea what they're doing, but they've just used to dig it. They're smashing up a lot of motorbikes. This is the best thing I've ever seen. Shame they cut that. I enjoy watching motorbikes get crushed. Anyway, we are back into the city. We have natural resources here, there, and everywhere. They're good. If we produce the raw materials in our city, we will be in a favourable position. As you would probably expect from like every national market ever, I suppose. But, you know, sometimes these things need explaining in a video game. Extend you down then. You connected up and you're now happy. We are now seeing more requests for industrial action. Not that kind of industrial action. We're not British Leyland. So we will try and extend you down. We will also be supplying ourselves. When can we do motorways? Just checking in. Quite a long old time away. So until then, I will extend down here. We will have another industrial sector, focusing on the entirely green part of... Hang on, I can't think, because the music's just gone up into a crescendo, and it's really loud for me. So I need to turn that down to 51. Because going for 50 is simply too logical. So in here we go with the roads. Extend them down here. Just a lovely little griddy system. Grids are good. It's sensible. It's easy to navigate. And we will just have a lovely time creating a new district down here. This district of Paul will be called the Hair. The Hair District. Because, you know, we are using grass, or rather trees, which is sort of like hair. Get it? We also need to assign a specialisation of woodworking, or forestry, as it's also known to normal human beings. I call it tree works, because I'm an idiot. Extend all of this down, just making sure that all of it's incorporated. As we move along, we get some water running into Paul's hair, because it needs that, otherwise it gets really dry and you can't grow anything here. We also need to look into the medical centre, which thankfully is a wee bit smaller, so what we may actually do here, and what I might actually do with our school, right, we can just move it so it sort of borders on this. See, that's a lot better for everybody, mostly me, because it looks nicer. So we will have a road running from the next one up, which I literally just had nailed there. So extend these roads down right up here. It is looking good for Paul. See, to you, we can then extend them in slightly differently, so it looks a bit different. In fact, we can change up the grid system here, take an opportunity to swap things out a bit, extend them this direction. Yes, it's not a stream from me without me being tired. So we have the industrial sector. We are also paused, so we won't get any money relatively soon. So speed up time. We see more industrial coming in at the bottom end. We have a slightly increased demand for residential zoning, so we will go down, give them a bit more housing. Everybody wants a house, don't they? It's just nice to have a roof over your head. This is not a Fallout, so we are not playing that game, which coincidentally had a game announced today, which is probably why I thought of it. But I haven't played any of the other Fallout games, so I have no opinion at all on Fallout. I know somebody who plays video games who haven't touched Fallout. What am I, a heathen? Well, yes I am. I play other things, although it is definitely on my list of games to play eventually. But, you know, right now I don't feel like it's the kind of game that I want to play, so I'm saving that for later. So we now have a slight problem with the poo again and the water. So generally, poo-based issues is currently afoot. So we will extend you all the way down. Just closing in this, just using our lovely little... We run out of money again, guys and girls. Not brilliant planning from me, but it doesn't cost anything to zone. And zoning gives me more residents. We will just be keeping the 3x3 setup for now. Although we should probably also, and by we I mean me, think about going to 2x setups. Because it is just a bit more space efficient. And there is no punishment for doing it. So extend this down just to save up the money. We have a water supply to the new sections. Once we buy this plot of land over here, which we might do eventually, we'll go ahead and extend this grid system down so it just looks a bit different. Furthermore, we have no demands right now for any new districts. Traffic is looking smooth. Electricity is not quite so smooth, I would suggest, and I can't afford anything. So can we just turn up the... I've already maxed out my electricity budget. And the wind is low down. We're now producing 2 megawatts less than we need to. So, okay, loan, Mr. Banco boy. Okay, quick out here. How much is this down here, which is a bit more simple? That is 19,000. So let's just quickly go to the loans. Take up 20,000 in loans. And buy something a bit more not sustainable, but certainly a bit more reliable power, because wind power is a bit fickle. It comes and goes as the wind blows, as it was. We are now seeing problems with excrement, but that's now being taken care of thanks to our reinvigorated power supply for the city. They can now pump water, they can now pump out excrement. Everybody's happy, they're being supplied in. But I mean, obviously, if you've got a town over here, you're about to not be happy, as you are going to taste our poo in the water. But I don't live there, so why do I care? We have more problems with our water supply. Just a tiny little business in the middle of it everywhere. Just supply that with water. In terms of housing, you're calling for more, but I'm not really sure you want more. But we will just quickly actually just give you a 3x3 so it doesn't matter what side you appear on. We now see problems with crime. We haven't plopped down a police station because we can't afford a police station. So could we try and save up for that? That's 12,000. We could get there pretty quickly. Also, what about our money for the power supply? Let's just go down to 100. That should be... We are well into the good here, so let's just sort that out. Await money for a police station, because there's a couple of places where they've got the police needed and we have no police officers. Slight oversight. As a mayor, you sort of want to focus on having police. It's a bit important. Sometimes you forget. I have many things to think about being the mayor, and the police really wasn't one of them today. So, whoops and me. I don't know, I guess if you've been burgled, I'll just provide you... well, like a free TV or something. That'll keep you happy, won't it? So crime rate's currently at 24. Quite high. So we've now gone into a tiny town. We can do landscaping. We can do parks and plazas. We can do level 2. We can even do canals. Even though I haven't bothered with that because the other game I'm playing doesn't really work with that. So, ignoring that, we will plop down a police station, which will keep everybody happy. We should probably also go in with a fire brigade, because people like not being on fire. That's the thing I've learned in life. People not big on the whole on fire thing. Makes them a bit angry. So we'll plop down you real quick. Down here we have a lot of fire appliances. So let's try and just reduce some of these budgets. Because I feel like we don't need quite so much of our people. Like you, for example, you don't need more than 5 patrol cars. It'll sort itself out. There's a lot of people in the elementary school though. So we might want to increase funding for that. But we are already in the pink, so we will do that without much trouble. Instead, we will be extending... Actually, no, let's try and make this place a bit pretty, shall we? Now, we have a school, and we have a lovely little party around here, so... why don't we put some trees down, shall we? Now, this may have been seen already in previous iterations where you can just plop down trees. but we have lots of more functions these days. So look at this here, just taking up some lovely piece of space. Right around here we can even do a footpath somewhere if we want to, but I haven't figured out where we want that yet, so we won't get into that later on. We will plan with this in mind from this point out. Instead, we will be going back into trees. We've sort of plopped it down on one side of the school, so just bring it out here, down around. And if we then go to Parks and Plazas, go to this little cube, we have a lot of little propos that we can prop down. As the name would suggest, to put down a bin. My only complaint is that there are not enough props, and more importantly, you can't zoom in close enough to put down most of them accurately. But, you know, what we can do, although it's a bit hilly here, so not really a sensible idea to put down any of that. We've got a cannon though, so if ever we see like somebody we want to blow up, we can just use that. That's a good thing, right? Let's go to bushes. Down here some high veg. No, let's go for some low veg. Out here just to give a bit more of, what's the thing called? Contour? Is that what I'm thinking about? How would you know if I don't know? I don't know. It's all very meta tonight. We will then be extending down here as we have lots and lots of money now. Up to 10,000, whatever these fictional money is. And that's a lot, if you ask me. So let's just extend this down here just to wrap up the grid, boys. Down here. Actually, hold that thought. Let's just get some refundos down here. Because what we can do to spice things up is grab from somewhere, like here for example. Or from this junction here, right? You can run like, see, you can run it at 45 degrees. Although that's not quite nice, isn't it? It's just a bit broken and bit, so let's not do that. So let's just grab you down here. Can you make it to here? You are going to be, oh god, now I need to do math. I don't know what 180 minus 45 is. That's 35 in it, so that's 35. I think I'm right, but I'm not really a numbers person, so how would I know? Just make it look ugly down here. We can always sort that out later on. So this is a departure from what you've seen. It's just going to be interesting. It's going to be prettier. Let's now go down to a 2 by separation. And for that, I can't get you right. There you go, you beautiful, beautiful machine. You know, aren't really a machine. So up here, 45 degrees. Just keep this going up. Down to you. It's not the prettiest setup in the world, but it is designed by me. It never was going to be beautiful anyway, so I feel like I'm not losing out at all. In fact, I'm not a professional. I'm just a bloke that likes video games. I don't do this beautifully. I don't do this competently. I just do this. And that, for the most part, is enough to sometimes succeed. Depending on what your definition of success is. So let's just extend you to up here. Can we get you right in? No, we probably can't. So to here, and then right in here. It's not pretty, I know, but at least this gives us an option to explore our current footpathing. We even have bicycle path if we want to, and by a we, I mean Scandinavia. So naturally I do, once we unlock the proper ones that are on the side of the road, which aren't proper ones anyway, because they don't look right. So a footpath goes in here, just to connect that straight up, otherwise everything's sort of very interconnected already. Not a lot to really be concerned about here, but we can also connect you up here, just extend you down. Path looking nicer, in my opinion, in freeform mode. So just through here, this lovely little section here. Not enough money, slight problem when I'm spending without bringing in the dosh because I'm paused to about there. Look at this, this is going to be beautiful. Everybody wants more housing. I can oblige with housing. We want people, they pay taxes, you know. That's why people are good. They pay taxes. That's good when you're the government. Whenever they want money, that's bad, of course, because we are the government. But, you know, why would the government ever not want to give its people money, eh? Subtle political jokes not found on this channel. They are very obvious. Don't worry about it. We will just... Oh my word, and the music agrees. Bloody hell, I hope you lot can listen to that, because it's really rising into a crescendo. It's gorgeous. It's everything we want from gaming music. It is magnificent. It's like I'm just found God or Jesus in a film. It's that kind of epic music that's kind of going on. If this was on incompetech.com, this will be listed under the epic section. It may very well have come from Incompetech, although I'm guessing Colossal Media Digital, whatever they're called, probably does everything themselves. Pop you down here. It is, however, nice to see that Paradox have finally realised that they need to clearly define what they want with a video game and not just release everything in... Hang on, this music is superbly loud. Still superbly loud, 24%. Maybe I'll be able to think now. Thank you. So I was talking about Paradox, which is a company that I have a very much ambivalent relationship to, a bit cold perhaps. I just don't really see them as doing sort of, or rather releasing games, I need to choose my words carefully here, that feel like they're sort of finished. Like this game never felt it was finished. They sort of, everything is early access with them. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing. I've greatly enjoyed some of their games in the past. It just feels a bit half-arsed when it's released. Usually, as with this, it will blossom into a magnificent game all in its own right later on when everything has matured around it. And that is happy thoughts indeed. So we will just extend you down here. That is not what I want to see. So we will just quickly leave you with also a footpath leading from our residential part to our, you know, industrial forestry section, because we have that clearly defined. It's not all intermixed. So you right up here, we have the beginnings and all the hallmarks of a lovely little park, especially if we don't do what we're doing here and we just try and link you in here like you've done there. It looks like poo, but we will make it work for now. Just around here, we will put down some trees. Just slow it down time. We go into landscaping and we will find the trees that we used over there just to have a bit of continuity. Just spread it out over this section. So all of these previously unused and wasted areas can now be developed into these lovely little organic parks that look very nice. I don't think they technically do much. Trees, they dampen noise, which I could really use because this music keeps getting louder and louder regardless of what I do with my audio settings. But I will try and think through it. But I'm a man, I won't do that very well. So we'll go back into bushes, some low vegetation, just sort of scattered about the place, just to give it a bit more feel to it. Here and here, here and here. In fact, we might want to go back into pathing, have a little dirt path leading from this piece here, which we're not going to use anyway, and just have it go straight into here. Right, and if we can just bend it. No, okay, bring it in here then. Bend it to here. And just over to the... That'll do. Right over here. That looks a lot nicer, doesn't it? So we'll go down here, plop down some more small bushes. Rotate them around so they get a bit of a natural feel to it. Just to keep it looking pretty and lovely. Just to rotate you around to here. Not too many bushes. We want to try and keep it somewhat rustic without going overboard. So we can also pop down some plops here. Let's go with a park bench. One with the fire brigade responding. Not that bench. Let's go with a bench of this type. Now you may be beginning to see what I mean when I say that you can't zoom in close enough to place down some of this. It is a bit difficult to figure all of that out when it is this far out, but we'll try and make it work. We'll pop down some bins. Because everybody loves bins when they're not trying to suppress a yawn. Meanwhile, we can pop down... Well, I don't really feel like this is a good place to also have a playground. We can do that at some other plot, like over here. Is it too flat? No, although this could potentially be a nice little plot. Oh no, we've also got that zoned. So, obviously not. But this is looking pretty now. We've got a lovely little dirt path that you can walk around and enjoy life. It doesn't really do much in terms of a function. I mean, the footpaths do because you can walk on them. but the rest doesn't. So down here we have another little blank spot that we can put down some trees in. Let's go for some coniflowers, or conifers, not cauliflower. Cauliflower is something you eat. Coniflower just doesn't exist. So go in here with some proper, good-fashioned old trees that are very tall, just to give a bit of drama to this section. That is looking beautiful. I haven't used any mods yet on this. I usually tend to go down a rabbit hole of mods everywhere, and it's just not particularly enjoyable when you do that, because it's sort of a bit too much about finding the mods and not about enjoying the game. But prop mods might actually be nice. So again, in here we filled out the back gardens with some lovely trees. We can put down here, if we go back into our parks and recreational assets, go up here at this T-junction, or, you know, Y-junction as it's probably known. Extend you to here and just pop down a lovely little flower bed, which is slightly clipping through the ground, I will admit, and it doesn't look that nice, but we will just accept it. We can plop down a quick little kiosk, or is there not a newsstand? I believe there is. Or maybe I'm just misremembering. We've got a rider statue, a city park sign, which doesn't say anything because we can't get close enough. No, indeed not. But we can pop down some hedges if we want to, like up here near the school, for example. We can try and frame that in with a lovely little hedge, because that'll look nice, not around the car park, around the backside, so that the children can't run away from school, because we want to keep them in school. So that's not how I wanted you to plop down a hedge. So just remove that, try and bring you back around. Just quickly slot this in here. This is looking beautiful, as pretty as it can be. If they ever decide to implement a better camera for this, it'll look like poo, but they haven't, so I'm okay with it. Then we can look around and try and find something else that we can try and beautify. Like over here, we could have a playground if we have a part that is sort of flat. Like zonage-wise. Okay, we need more of our sort of business over here. So just do a 2-row. Just to, again, keep it all terraced up and beautiful and nice. And then we are looking down here with some more room to zone some industrial or commercial. We will be going commercial. We'll be doing a 3-width setup. Back up here, we're just looking over. It's getting prettier, isn't it? We are slowly improving all over the map. See, they're leveling up as we build services. Everything works out well. It's sort of like SimCity, but much more focused around making it pretty, and they've now acknowledged that, and I'm supremely grateful that they have. So we have technically here a slot that we could use, but I'm not going to. Also, there's a beautiful little river. We won't touch that yet. I like that we've basically done a lay-by for the poo. That makes me happy. I like a poo lay-by. In fact, we can district this up by going in here. Just, you know, going out here, calling it the poo lay-by. Because it amuses me, so poo lay-by. It's amusing. What else do we need? Anything? We need more residential. We want people to live here. Oh my god, there's a bloke who wasn't even framed on the news. It's local news. It's rubbish. Not a fan of my local news. It's just a bit amateurish and like somebody who's just done a work experience as a bunch of teenagers. But, you know, I'm not working there, so I don't really feel like I have any kind, and this won't work. So, okay. Slight problem here. We'll extend you down, and extend you down. So whenever we buy this plot of land over here, we will be pretty much ready to roll with a new grid system all sorted out and good. You meanwhile need to extend down here, have this zoned in whilst we are at it. So we have here lovely room for a playground. So we will go into the props department. Quickly just hedge it in using these green hedges, which may not look entirely pretty, and it is slightly difficult for me to do this properly. But over here it is looking beautiful given this lighting. I will call it beautiful so the children can't run away. Just quickly build it out here. Not run away, just not run into people's houses and back gardens, because that's a bit rude, isn't it? So quickly just bend you around. Good. Oh, I really wanted to say something there, but I just couldn't. So with this lovely little corner plop, we'll have some flower... That car parked. We'll have some flower beds also adorning this side, just 2. And if we then go down here, we can have a sand pit. Although, obviously, that's not really the best look for a sand pit, because, you know, the grass is growing through it. So we can go in here with, like, a chessboard, which we like to have over here on the corner, so the old people can sit down and play chess. We will have a picnic table. We will have, if we go up here, we should have some playing about. We've got a spinner going on here that's also slightly clipping through, but that seems to disappear, so good to know. It's also positioned a bit close, I feel, to our little plate bench over here. So we'll plop you down as we remove the... Go away. There you go. Not that difficult, was it? So we'll also have a slide complex, which is a thing you can plop down. There we go. So that's now sort of like a playgroundy area where the kids will play and enjoy their time in the park. We will plop down a sandbox over nowhere near any of this, because it's not going to have a sandbox. What playground doesn't have a sandbox, you may say? And you would be right. Most playgrounds do. So we'll plop you down here, which looks mostly okay. Just delete the little slidey spinner thing in the middle. And plop down another one right over here. They are very, very anonymous. You couldn't tell them even if you tried. So there we have the first playground. We could also, whilst we were at it, find a nice little... Oh, we got those bushes. I thought we didn't. So also, we should have a tree here that can give shade to these tables. So if anybody's there and they're doing the daytime, they can get into the shade. Also, over here, we should probably build in some more conifers to extend this part down here around this debris section. Also, I don't like the flower bed I popped down, so get rid of you. Maybe we can do a footpath crossing. If we turn that off, right. Just a footpath crossing over here, with maybe a lovely little special bench or 2 at it, such as you and you here, and a bin. And we can also find some sort of kiosk down here, not a grill. This is a newsstand. This feels appropriate for this type of place. This is where you can come down in the morning, get your newspaper. When you're woken up, walking your doggo or whatever you've got. You don't walk a cat, so very difficult to walk them. One of the many benefits of having a cat is you don't have to take it for a walk. You still have to pick up its poo, but that's less of an inconvenience when it happens within your own home. You don't have to leave the house for your pet to poo. Seems sort of pointless really, doesn't it? But whatever. So we are now getting slightly squeezed out, certainly in terms of our residents. We should probably also plop down some of these actual parks that we have. A small park that really, I feel, doesn't live up to its name of being small. It's fucking huge, but we will prop down a small playground right here where everybody will come. It'll improve the quality of the neighborhood, so they will level up and they will feel happy and wonderful and enjoy life a lot more. We are getting even closer to leveling up. We've reached Tiny Town. I'm happy with that. And then we unlock here. We unlock a couple of different ones. No oil specialization yet. That comes at... Okay. About 5,000 people living here. Can I buy another plot of land? Because I am running out of land in the area that we are currently in. So maybe I've cocked it up because you shouldn't be sowned. Sorry, I usually don't like to kick people out of their homes, but I had to here. Sorry. Just pretend we are like bad and that for doing that, which we probably are. We will then go over and have a look in a different part, which we can't really do. We need definitely to widen out, but hopefully we might just unlock the next level of town before we get to that point. But you are getting a bit desperate for housing, so let's go into our overview. by this plot here with a fair bit of motorway on it, and that's okay. In fact, that's favourable. It'll allow us to build more exits and that, and we have some ore on top. We have a bit of everything, in fact, looking at this. It'll only cost me 4,500, suitable area for building 97%. We will buy that, thank you very much. It is far away from the pool lay-by as you can get, and I really don't mind that. We have a hill in the middle. We can probably... Is there not a contour lines? I think there might be... Yeah, there we go, contour lines. So this is a geographical look at what we have. We have a lovely little mountain here. Although I believe if we look at the natural resources, yeah, this section over here is quite heavily focused on ore. So we don't want to take up too much of that. We want to drill into the ground and grab all of that. This part here we can. So quickly slot down a district. Just spread it out a bit more here. Not called Dale, but just over here. This will be our ore district. Again, good accessibility from the motorway. For now, we'll try and connect it into here. Is there a fire? Yes, there is. We built the fire brigade, right? Yes, we did. And they're using one of their 3 fire appliances. That's a decent size for a town this big, innit? So we'll go in here. We will extend the roads that we have down here. No, we won't. We will pause the game. We will delete this little cut by. Grab you and extend you down. Because we can make this look lovely and nice. Try and vary up this little grid base that we've got going on. We've started with a grid system. Grid systems are good, although that's a bit broken, but whatever. I've cocked that up massively. So delete you. Can we also delete this lot and try and go in new over here down? Yeah, see, this is sort of not sort of sorted to sort you out. And you are not really fully happy here, so that's going to look a lot not pretty. But we will make it work. Grab you down to here. We can then connect. You can't connect up because distance and, you know, slopes and all of that jazz. So can we grab you? Try and get you at 100 and... No, you can't because you're here. So what are you at? You're 130. So that'll do. That will do. No, that's not nice at all. Did it you? Did it you? Is it you? Please connect up. Please connect up. Okay, that's broken horribly. So let's grab you out here at 135 degrees there. You are willing to not do any of this. What about you? No, I've broken it. Kids do this sometimes. So delete, delete, delete. You down to this length out here. So is it not 135 then? Because it should logically be 135. Because I'm doing numbers in my head, which is probably an indication that I'm horribly wrong. So delete you here. Just extend you further down. Thank you. You will now link up here to 180. I'm not completely hopeless with numbers. High five to myself for that. Connect up you. Oh, this is going to look a bit messy, but it's a residential area. It doesn't mind. That minds, though. I don't want that in my town. It's a local town for local people. That's not what local people want to look at. So quickly grab you here. Why do you break yourself, you dumbo? So delete you, extend you down, you right onto here. That's still broken. No, I don't mind accidents, but not when it looks like that. Bloody hell, there we go. A lot prettier. We can also delete some of our power lines. We don't need them anymore. We can also extend the other road down, so we have the basic road layout sorted. Also, that's also broken. We've got to make it look pretty. If we make a few happy mistakes along the way, that's okay. But that was not one of them. This is looking good, though. See, we're getting some variation now in our grid-based system. It's getting prettier. It's getting nicer. Can you please extend... Oh, why do I always cock it up at the very end? Story of my life. Just as we get to the end, everything's a bit broken, shattered and scarred. So extend you down here. You can't go further down here. So we will have a bit of a forest here on the top to break up the wind. Because that's a very important thing in society. Have a look at the Great Dust Bowls in North America if you don't believe what I'm saying. So this over here, we will have a lovely little forest around the base of our wind turbines to try and disguise them, and we will do that now. So we will pop down in here. We'll need some slightly shorter trees, like you. Technically we don't, because you know everything, but that's okay too. So quickly plop them down. Unfortunately, there's no way for me to rotate these trees, so we will just be plopping them down a bit sporadically around them, so it's not particularly obvious. But also, actually, before we get started with that, it needs an access road. So we need to go into road, select the dirt road. You need to access these wind turbines somehow, don't you? So extend you to here and down, and you can go down here. So we now have access to these wind turbines should we ever want to service them. Unfortunately, I can't do anything to the saw that makes it look sort of appropriate, but we will go back in here with some trees and plop them down around to try and obscure our little wind turbine base. The residents of this town will be pleased that we have taken efforts to conceal these, what some people consider quite ugly and noisy bastards. They don't like them around them. I can sort of understand why, but you know, somebody's got to have them if we're going to survive sort of beyond a generation or two. Even though I'm not a child fan, I do accept that we need some sort of progression and some further generations to make life livable. So we need to think about them. But some people disagree, and those people are idiots. So we will make it a bit more of a rustic forest. Right over here, just some lovely pieces of high density bush. Just make it look a bit more wild and untamed. So see, turn it over here, for example. This will line up nicely with the road. So we can then go ahead and try and grab one of the other ones. Oh, hello, Cease. So you can go down to this section then, if we can find one that's sort of straightish. See, there we go. It's beginning to take a lovely form, this piece of shrubbery. Maybe if we go into the rocks, we can find something that isn't not too big to just also spice things up a little bit. See, this is getting a bit bigger. So just over here, there might be rocks in the forest, right? I don't really know. Well, I know because I do spend quite a lot of time in the forest. I like the forest. The forest is a lovely place to be. Even though it was ridiculously warm when I went running in one earlier today. That sort of thing happens when it's summer. Even though it's spring. But, you know, we've clearly given up any kind of clear definition of what seasons is nowadays. So I'm just rolling with it. Just accepting that we had 26 degrees today. And that I will probably be crying myself to sleep because I can't fall asleep because it's too hot. This is not the sort of look I was going for in this forest. But we will try and make it work by just plopping down more trees. More trees is more forest, and more forest is good for the world. There's lots of deforestation going on, so let's try and change that in our little virtual pool. So pop down all of this. It's getting pretty. Over here we go. See, now we're getting some definition in this forest. It's beginning to look a bit foresty, isn't it? So lovely over here. We could add in a footpath, which is actually a good idea. Can we link this together with a gravel footpath, or have I... No, I have technically probably plopped them down a bit too close to one another. But we can run them around at some point. We can get back to this later on. This would be nice, certainly, wouldn't it? So over here we've got a lovely little foresty area. Now we will go in and do some residential zoning surrounding this section. We will be doing it ×3. We won't be zoning into this little alleyway down here. That will just be left as an access road to our wind turbines. We'll extend you up here, continue that up to this next junction. Same story here with what we can up here. It is beginning to take shape, this. This is not happy times. This looks messy and disgusting, so we won't be doing anything there. We can do a row of trees or something over here. That's not great. It's a happy accident. We will work with it. We can't just destroy everything in life that we don't think is pretty. That's how the world works. No human is perfect. This city won't ever be perfect, but we will love it just as much as if it was. So grab you down here, extend you down, and we will also quickly zone you down here. Probably also this. Yes, also this. This will be pretty. So you down, you here as well with those 3 widths. Extend you up here too. So, in fact, maybe we can do a belt of trees. I like going in with a sort of like a rustic foresty look. I live in a smallish kind of town, so that's pretty much what I'm used to seeing, although not a very grid-based one. So, what we can actually do down here, just to make things look a bit more interesting, is do a bike path, as we haven't done one of those before. So, get rid of our guidance by road. Extend you up here to this section. We may have deleted that tree, but we don't need to worry. We can grab a giant redwood. No, that doesn't look right. You're a green tree. I like that vague definition a lot, so just plop them down here. I should technically wait with that until we've seen the houses grow. But before that, we need to do water supply. People want to drink water. This isn't the third world, so we supply people with water. Down here, Paul is thirsty. And Paul... Oops, he's there. Just that lovely little burp. Happy accidents all round tonight. Just connect everything together. Let's bring it in here. The people of Paul will now get lovely drinking water. There will now be fair water, although we are pretty much running maxed out on what we have, so we will increase funding a bit. Everybody will get a bit more money. Down here, water will now go up. Look at this. We are now fully supplying everybody with water. I also want to go into, as soon as we've unlocked the next tier, which we should do shortly, we can go into, was it all specialization? Anyway, it doesn't matter. We can very quickly get started down here on some sort of agriculture. Supply ourselves with food, cattle, everything that's good about farming. God, I love steaks, especially in the summer. Everybody loves a good rib too, don't they? So extend down the grits that we have. Although we will split it off here. Just have 2 access roads. Leading you, just sort you out here first. The other access road will be from down here. But who says we need to go in with the traditional grid that we've already done? So we can go in here, for example, grab you. If we just keep it at a 45-degree angle, which we do here, plop you down, run you down to here. Again, 45 degrees. Down here, we will go a bit wider this time round. Over here, you will go 45 degrees. We need to go a lot wider this time. You, out here, we'll go in with 45, right? Yeah, 45. And then we can quickly just grab you down here with another 45. And this is a bit untidy. We will be wasting a bit of space, but this is not about being efficient. It's about being distinctive, about each part of this town having its own feel. Pause the game real quick, because I haven't actually done my sectioning in of this part. So this over here, hang on, I've cocked it up. This is the oil section, isn't it? Is this not the oil section? Have I just done my I've just done my agriculture in the oil section? That's not going to go great, I suspect. So, without further ado, we'll just forget I've done this. Just goodbye to these roads. Sorry, the people out here, we've just replanted those trees as well. We are very efficient. So we will just quickly bye baby, bye baby. Mill Square not coming in. Over here's where we've got the agriculture, and this is a lot more regular to work with. So grab you down here. Just a straightish along a road. Or just try and split it up here. Just to here. To here. And to here. And we can try and mimic that with the next road right over here, so we do get some lovely little guides so that it looks nice and tidy. See, plop it down here. It's looking good today. That's about as good as it gets for us. So just connect them up here with a couple of different roads linking. One here too. We just need to extend you down and over. So we need to just make sure... Okay, that's a lot higher than we need to have technically. This even looks a bit high. So if we go in here to the regular mode of lowish to here. So can we see up where we are? We are here. We're doing it at 90 degrees. So straight over. And then we can bring it down to road level. Just make the incline as gentle as we possibly can. We've got to keep this nice so we don't destroy the environment. Down to here. Connect you in. That's not nice. That's not nice either, but we'll make it work probably due to the power stations. Over here we can zone out for our lovely little agriculture. Down here, let's call you out here. What's farmy? Don't mind the hay, which is what we probably will be growing in some parts. We will need to make it agriculture specialization, and then we can go ahead and zone like no tomorrow, which is what I've done here. So we've got agriculture, we will have over here forestry, we will have ore. We are well on the way to a functioning economy. We need water though. I also will be wrapping up this stream fairly shortly. I've been going for over an hour now, and I'm very hot. It's legitimately sweating right now. I am legitimately sweating due to the temperature in my front room because it's so hot. Please to God, I just want it to end. Yet again, I don't ever want it to end because it's nice. So that's now been extended over. I don't think we now have... We have motorways now, so that was a good time. We also have all specialisation. We have public transport. We have many, many great things. We even have roads with tram tracks. We have many, many, many great things, but not the most important roads just yet. So, before we will end it up here, we will do a motorway link up to down there. Just ignore the power lines. That's not a safety risk at all. You up to here. You bring it back down onto the motorway. So you are now calling for power. Why are you calling for power? Have I technically disconnected you lot? No, I haven't. Haven't touched it. We're just not producing enough of the power. So my final act will be to increase power. And we will be saying goodbye as we take a look at Paul and what we've achieved in an hour. I hope you've enjoyed this quick little, very, very hot stream where I am getting hotter and hotter and hotter. I hope you have a lovely time until we see each other again. Maybe tomorrow, maybe in hell. Those two things could be the same. So goodbye.